I'm only here to capture the traitor I told you about.
This traitor, who is he?
It isn't a he, it's a she. It is the baby I took from Randor. Princess Adora.
What?
Wait, don't go in there. He's doing his podcast.
Hello, friends. We're back. This is the Successfully Failing Podcast, the show where we talk a lot of crap about a lot of crap. Say hi, X.
What's happening?
Hello, Chris.
What?
There you go. My man got on that Nickelodeon t-shirt.
Yeah, that's how you do it, man. Nostalgia.
Yeah. So today
See
we're
the
gonna...
Reptar?
Yeah, Reptar. Right, wrong corner.
Yeah.
Hmm? It's a dope shirt. You should run that shit, though.
Yeah, nah, player.
Alright, so today we're going to talk about some WWE Money in the Bank Smackdown Live.
The hell
And the
is that?
computer's making noise. That's great. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I don't know what that was. But anywho, yeah. So we're going to talk about some WWE Money in the Bank and some NBA news. We thought we were done with it, but nope. Alright, so before we get into that, I want you guys to do me a favor. Head over to Successfully Failing TV on the YouTube, youtube.com/Successfully Failing TV. There you can check out every single episode of the Successfully Failing podcast and any other videos we feel like we want to post. You'll see a lot of concert stuff, video game stuff. Like I mentioned in the last episode, in a couple weeks, we're going to be at Warped Tour in Long Island. So expect a lot of live video coverage from that. Should be an awesome day. Might be 2 days depending on how it goes. So yeah, make sure you subscribe, comment, share, like. And you can check out the Successfully Failing podcast on iTunes, Podomatic, and SoundCloud. So, how you been?
I'm alright.
Feeling fishy?
Shut up.
Yeah, so first things first, we had Money in the Bank on Sunday. And the fuck? And it was shaping up to be something monumental. Kind of didn't really turn out to be, and I say monumental because this was the first ever, we were having the first ever women's Money in the Bank match. And, you know, it's supposed to be a big deal for the women. You know, they had a Hell in a Cell not too long ago, which was actually a fairly decent match between Sasha and Charlotte. I think the highlight of the match was the wedgie that Charlotte gave Sasha. But, I mean, that wasn't a bad match. Charlotte, she really knows how to put it on. So, yeah, we had that. So, Money in the Bank started off with the pre-show. Hype Bros. Zack Ryder came back. So the Hype Bros faced off against the Colons. I know who the Colones are. I was trying to be funny, but whatever. Thank you for that. Hype Bros won via pinfall. That's really, I didn't watch the match. Didn't even, yeah. Yeah, Zack Ryder did get the victory, and I believe they're having a match for #1 contendership. But they're gonna lose anyways. So the show kicked off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
It's funny, they did the whole vignette during the intros.
That was weird. I was wondering why. Like they came out, and then after they came out, they did the promo.
Whole history type thing, and
Yeah. Usually it's before, I don't know, maybe that was a mistake, but usually
it's
they
funny how they did all that, and the outcome was like, "Oh, you serious?"
yeah, like so pretty much it was Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Tamina, Snuka, Carmella, and Natalia, and facing off, and we all know what you should all know what a Money in the Bank ladder match is, and so yeah, it was supposed to be monumental, and I'm not even gonna say it was really that bad. It was just so short. Like normally, all right, so like you had the second Money in the Bank match later on at the main event, which like normally in a match like that, the time where the match starts to kick into high gear, that's where the women's ended.
But it's funny because I'm watching the thing. It's like, are these women even tall enough to even snatch the thing off the snatch the briefcase down?
That's
Carmella,
sexist.
Tamina, and Charlotte are.
No, they were short, and that briefcase was kind of high. So
Yeah, they had it low for the freaking.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like it was weird because like it wasn't the worst match ever. It was just the length of it, and we all knew that it was gonna kind of be some kind of fishy outcome with like what's his name, James Ellsworth, interfering in some way, shape, or form. And yeah, I mean, so pretty much what ended up happening was he climbs up the ladder for Carmella, grabs the briefcase, and throws the briefcase to Carmella. That's it. So, I mean, that it was just and it wasn't even the outcome of it or the ending. It was just the fact that it ended so short, in my opinion.
I mean, the way they booked that ending was, I mean, he could have, of all these people in the Money in the Bank, all these ladder matches, all these people who are never involved, what do? They help the person go up the ladder. That's it. And for the way they booked that, it was just ridiculous.
Yeah, you think he'd pull off somebody or push somebody off a ladder?
Yeah.
And there was nothing like that. It was just like
he did that to Becky, and he climbed up. I'm like, that's just bad. I mean, just let Carmella go. It's like nothing's what's wrong with her.
Yeah, exactly. It's just and it's funny because they brought up points when they do that Talking Smack show or whatever on Tuesday night. What was it? They were pretty much saying that, like, that match was supposed to uplift the female wrestlers, and that kind of showed like that, a good female wrestler in Carmella needed a man to help her out, So this was coming from Daniel Bryan. Pretty much started that conversation. So it was like, it wasn't a female complaining about men helping him out. It was a man, because that's what that was supposed to be. 5 top-notch female wrestlers, going at it for something monumental. And like I said, we knew he was going to interfere because just, it's the whole heel thing. But I don't know. I just felt like even if that would have happened, the fact that the lead up to that happening, like X said, Carmella wasn't really banged up. Nothing crazy happened. Nobody got like suplexed off a ladder to where they were dying, and he did that would have been a little more acceptable. But
and you know what's weird about the whole thing, when they announced during the show that, like, okay, we're going to address this whole Money in the Bank, and like Carmella, she didn't even cash it in. I was like, oh, what word? I'm just going to cash this in.
that would have been smart.
That would have been. I think it would have been heel heat right there.
Oh yeah, hands down, because she was getting
controversy and all that.
She was getting heat yesterday on SmackDown Live. She was getting like legit heat. So yeah, and it was weird though to digress a little bit. Like
she ran with that promo. She did good with that.
Yes, and to digress a little bit, like it was weird because usually when something like that happens, it'll be like the first thing announced, and they literally didn't come out to like almost the end of the show with that, which was. But whatever. I mean, SmackDown is Oh, and you know what I heard, that how they do that split screen thing? They've been doing that, like when they go into commercials on SmackDown, they do that. They've been doing that for like a long time. I didn't even know that.
Last time I remember that they did that during that draft last year.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, they did that. That's the last time I remember they did that. I mean, like, they're still doing that, but why didn't they do that on an important match and not on a freaking
right? It was weird because I don't really watch SmackDown, which is weird, being that that's the better show. I usually catch the highlights, the next day or whatever, and then the pay-per-views. But anywho, so Carmella won. She has the briefcase, and pretty much what they did on SmackDown was They came out and Daniel Bryan addressed the issue and took the briefcase from her, and they're gonna have another Money in the Bank ladder match, which hopefully is way better.
Well, Ellsworth is banned.
And Ellsworth is banned. They banned him on Talking Smack. But it was funny because me and my friend at work were talking about it, and we was thinking that to be a dick, Daniel Bryan was gonna declare Ellsworth the winner. But that would have been funny. It would have been stupid, but it would have been funny. But yeah, so they're gonna do it again. I'm pretty sure Carmelo's gonna win anyway, but at least it'll.
If Carmelo wins, it just shows that they admitted that they messed up on the pay-per-view.
Pretty much.
They should.
I mean,
Yeah.
they kind of did. So whether they admit it or not, I
She's
mean,
the only one that should.
yeah, that's the thing. Like,
She's the only one that should actually get that
yeah,
briefcase.
because
Really,
nobody else needs it. Charlotte does not need it.
to me, then she's not going anywhere. She's
Yeah,
just a filler.
Yeah,
Becky
she's just
doesn't
there.
need it.
Becky doesn't need it because Becky's your she's the pretty much the face of that. I think she's more face than Charlotte, even though Charlotte's a face. I think Becky Lynch is that
Charlotte's more of a neutral, actually.
No, I know, but right now she's playing the face role till if somebody like Becky Lynch wins, then I see Charlotte going heel again. But then again, they got Carmella. Who knows how long that's gonna last for? But anywho, so yeah, that was the outcome of that match. The next match was actually to bring up something else too. The reason why I was shocked that it was so short is because this pay-per-view only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. Oh, 5 matches. Because I was counting the Mike and Maria segment, but so it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. And as a matter of fact, it was only 5 matches till they randomly did the Breezango thing.
Mm-hmm.
So even with that Breezango match, that match was like no more than 10 minutes, if that. It was like 5 minutes probably.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I hate when they do that mystery and they brought in a team that was already there.
yeah, it's not like a brand new thing.
Yeah, exactly.
They should have turned American Alpha heel.
That would have been a surprise.
Yeah.
But like
At least that would have been, but they didn't. They just showed the freaking Ascension as if we forgot about them. Like, come on, man.
for
For them just to get squashed.
for SmackDown, who's been doing so well, that was kind of a raw move right there. But yeah, so like I was shocked that the ladder match, the part of the main thing of the show was so short. But anywho, so next match was the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between the Usos, who are the current champs, and the New Day. And New Day won the match via countout, but the Usos retained the title because champions advantage.
Great match, horrible finish.
Yeah, that was a. I mean, I get it.
That was a waste.
Yeah, I'm getting they're trying to drag it, but they didn't have to drag it that way. They could have just had like the Usos do a sneaky win or something like that.
Yeah, they could have. I mean, why throw away a great match on a stupid disqualification? Just sandbag the whole thing. Just be lazy for that match. If it's going to be something like that, I'm not going to waste no energy on no.
Yeah, because that was a good match. I mean, like I don't mean this like literally, like not us, but with the New Day, the way they are and their gimmick and the way they act, like you kind of forget that they're all legit wrestlers. And then when they get in the ring, like somebody brought it up. I think it was JBL. No, it wasn't JBL. It was, I forgot who it was, but they were saying how like they do all this crazy shit, but when they get in the ring, it's all business, and they turn it on, like they turn on the switch, and we forget that. And the Usos, it's funny, on SmackDown they had that singles match, and you could tell the difference between the Usos as a tag team and the Usos as a solo act.
No, yeah.
They're like maybe it was just Jimmy, but
they're not. They're a permanent tag team. They're not.
Yeah, like if they ever go solo, that might be the worst thing for their careers, because it's not like Edge and Christian. It's not like the Hardys where they can get off on their own. Like this dude looked bad on SmackDown.
It's just like the Dudley boys when they split them up. Dudleys can't go solo.
Yeah, and it's not even that they can't wrestle. It's just that that just doesn't work. But the Usos, they just, I don't know, maybe it was just that night, but like, dude, Jimmy looked like he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Like,
they are a tag team.
Yeah,
But
but
I like them better as a tag team.
and they did their thing. I mean, I really like this rivalry, even though it kind of sucks that they sort of threw Breezango to the they kind of threw him out the back door. For now, I mean, maybe I think they're gonna do like some tornado tag shit.
Well, they finally got merch.
Oh yeah. But I mean, at least being in the tag team championship picture.
But the Titus brand got merch? Because I need to be part of that.
I won't be surprised. I mean, if they keep pushing it, because that's something that like
That's like the only good thing on Raw, really.
right. But yeah, it was funny. I don't know if you were here when I was saying it, but like the Usos and Roman Reigns, they need to form like the Samoan Nation of Domination.
Bloodlines again?
Yeah, like do some shit like that, like start a faction like that, because that's probably the only way people will give a shit about them. You know, like I don't know.
No, people like the Usos. It's just
Well, the
that
Usos,
they paired them with Roman Reigns, and so you're just gonna get that heat, just for no
Well,
reason.
yeah, people like like
if they never paired Usos with Roman Reigns, Usos would have been people like the Usos.
No, yeah, people like the Usos. I'm just saying, like in general, like people would give a fuck about like Roman.
No,
probably.
nobody cares about Roman. I
yeah,
just wish that this is a perfect opportunity for a whole new, what do you call it? A whole new work thing for Roman Reigns. But
Well, did you see his promo on Raw?
no,
He kind of cut like a legit promo. You know, he pretty much got that real heat. But you know,
He's supposed to be a face.
but it's because that's the thing, because he's pretty much he's kind of like being, I don't know. I guess he's running with it, like because he was saying pretty much like you know, I don't care who I have to face, whoever wins. He was like, I'm the number one contender for the Universal
so
title.
he's
said,
another one. He just pulled that John Cena shit. Yeah, I'm the number one contender, and that's it.
He came out and said he was like, why? Because this is my yard, you know. Like he said, I call the shots or some shit like that. So it was in a
But
heel
Braun
way.
Strowman just whooped his ass. Like I hate that stupid. Like yo, you just got your ass whooped, and you're just gonna be like, oh, this is my yard. What is it with this booking? Like when Bray Wyatt goes to talking mad shit to Seth Rollins, like you're a Kingslayer, but you never slayed a god. Man, shut up. Shut up. You got your ass whooped like week after week. It's enough of that shit. How am I supposed to invest into you and be like, oh yeah, this guy's a beast? No.
They don't know what they're doing. All I know on the Bray Wyatt tip is that you cannot look at Bo Dallas and tell me he's not going to be a Wyatt in the next year or so.
He's not going to be the Wyatt in
Yo,
the next year. So.
do you see? Look, why the fuck else is he growing out that beard?
To be in the entourage.
Nah, that's Entourage is supposed to be clean cut. You know, like snazzy looking. Nah, he didn't.
This is the 2000s,
This is just something that like is sort of like just to kill time, to fill time till till Bray Wyatt calls upon him, because you look at that dude, he looks scary. But anywho, all right, so that the tag team match was good, but the ending sucked. You know, they're trying to drag this shit. So that was it pretty much. Yeah, like I said, the Usos, they were getting their ass kicked. They almost lost the match, and they decided to walk out with their belts.
The highlight of the match was Kofi's face when he did the
Oh yeah, when he did the the trust fall, and like his face looked, it was funny. So all right, the next match was the SmackDown Women's Championship match. Naomi, who is the current champ, versus Lana. Nothing much to say about that, but Naomi won via submission.
Out of there.
Yeah, they what's her name? Did that? Carmella acted like she was gonna cash in, didn't cash in, whatever. Then that was it. I mean. You don't really expect much, because honestly Lana hasn't wrestled a lot. We don't expect much from her. She had one match like years ago, and yeah, it's whatever. It's just a waste of time. But I mean, if that's the case, they should have just not had a women's championship match. And matter of fact, they should have put KO in 2 matches, kill him even more. But anywho, yeah. So Naomi won via submission. The next was a retarded segment with Mike and Maria Kanellis. Well, no, not he's Mike Kanellis, according to him. But yeah, that was pointless. So, all right, so we move on to the next match, which was the WWE Championship. Jinder Mahal defends his championship against Roman Reigns.
I honestly didn't see that match.
Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, same shit. Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal. I didn't watch the first match. When
I heard it was
Jinder
like
won.
a carbon copy.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah, I heard it was like a carbon copy.
What's funny, you didn't see this match. I didn't see the first time. So it's like I guess we watched the same match initially.
Imagine.
Yeah, like pretty much. But
Kind of.
see, the thing about Randy Orton is like every time he has a match, he's throwing people through tables. Like it's a set thing. It's not like something new and
Same old shit.
Innovative.
Innovative.
Yeah, innovative. What the fuck? Innovative. Yeah, it's just the same old shit. See, like you look at somebody like KO, who's always doing some new shit or getting some new shit done to him, and you know, Randy Orton, same shit
Randy
over and
Orton
over again.
was never like creative.
Yeah, and the thing that
his
bugs me
matches.
is I'm not too opposed to the RKO, even though I'm a stunner guy, but like he shouldn't be doing RKO to tiny people. Like he's RKOing the fucking the Singh brothers through a table, and
They're like half
just,
a wrestler.
yeah, it just looks weird. Like that's like what Roman Reigns with the how does Lana have more of a beast finisher than fucking Roman Reigns? Yo, Roman Reigns should take Lana's finisher. It'd be way more effective. Alright, so Jinder Mahal won via pinfall. That's it. We're just waiting for Cena in a couple weeks to come interfere in a promo that he cuts on SmackDown. It's either, like I said, it's either gonna be Cena cutting a promo, Jinder Mahal interfering, or Jinder Mahal cutting a promo and Cena interfering. So, whatever. Oh, nobody really cares about that. What everybody wants to see is Roman Reigns interfering on... God damn it, John Cena interfering on Roman Reigns promo. That's what everybody wants to see.
Nope.
Believe it. Alright, so you're telling me if you had to choose between Cena and Jinder Mahal or Cena and Roman Reigns, yeah, whatever. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't understand science. Alright, so now we move on to the main event, which was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Dolph Ziggler, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles, Baron Corbin. Now this match honestly was everything we thought it would be with the contenders they had. And let me, hats off to Sami Zayn. This guy, he was a monster in that match.
Yeah, he was.
Like this dude, he killed Kevin Owens, killed Dolph Ziggler. How Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Owens wrestled the day after, I don't know. And even though KO got beat up, Dolph Ziggler took that power bomb, that springboard power bomb or whatever, off the or the sunset flip power bomb, off the ladder onto the to the edge of the ring.
Out of
They
there.
take a Kinshasa to the jaw.
Oh, yeah, well, the thing about the Kinshasa to the jaw is that Dolph Ziggler's jaw is like an entity in itself. Like
If
you
he
could.
took that shit to the head, that shit would have been another
Nah, he could stop a truck with his jaw, and I'm not talking shit about him. He's got a chiseled superhero jaw,
Yeah.
but and he should be a superhero. I'd love to see him play a superhero. But anywho, yeah, like everybody did their thing. Everybody, it's similar to the, and I still haven't even watched the match, the Fatal 5-Way.
But
The
last pay per view.
yeah, the Extreme Rules Fatal 5-Way.
Oh.
Like everybody got their spots,
Okay.
Like, dude, and why is nobody talking about the fact that AJ Styles gave Kevin Owens an AA? Like, nobody's saying anything about that. Like, I was waiting for, that to me is like the ultimate, and I'm okay with it.
Is Cena around?
Yo,
Then fuck him.
that's what I'm saying. Yo, like, AJ Styles gonna start stunning people. He give people pedigrees, rock bottoms, and people elbow. Fuck it. Like, AJ Styles could do whatever the fuck he wants. But,
Because
nah.
he built SmackDown.
Pretty much. Like, that right there redeemed the whole pay-per-view. Because the whole pay-per-view, and it was short, it went by fast, but it was just boring, except for, like, a couple, like, that one match, the tag team match. But this really, like, made it at least worthwhile. Like, if it was just this as the pay-per-view, It'd been like
The
one of the,
Shinsuke AJ Styles segment of that match was favorite for me.
yeah, that was like
Shout out
knowing
to Wrestle Kingdom.
yeah, knowing that they go back, and that was like the first time they've actually gone face to face since Japan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So, and I was gonna say they were doing something with that, but they seem to be doing KO and AJ Styles, which is I'm okay with that, but it almost seems I think they might be holding the AJ and Shinsuke till like a bigger event. Well, not that SummerSlam isn't big.
I would like
but-
to see it on SummerSlam if AJ's not fighting for no belt. All right. Him and Shinsuke need to get at it. Then have a rematch at WrestleMania.
That'd be great. I mean, but there's no pay-per-view in between, like no SmackDown pay-per-view in between.
Yeah, there is.
There's another SmackDown pay-per-view. God damn it. Okay, so maybe we do get Shinsuke and Ziggler at Shinsuke and AJ at SummerSlam. So I keep thinking SummerSlam is like the next pay-per-view, and I've been thinking that for like the past 3 months. I forget that it's August and not July. So all right, so we could get KO, and then maybe it should be for a bigger title, but maybe it's for that title. I mean, take what we could get, right?
Vince McMahon might just put that shit on a pre-show, or they might put AJ and Shinsuke in a tag team match.
Yo,
Some stupid shit.
if he puts that shit on pre-show, the next pay-per-view they're going to lose so much money in subscriptions. Like that right there, like that's the ultimate disrespect.
Well,
You could do a kickoff match.
well, hey, NJPW's blowing up, so.
Yeah, that's true. They're
I mean,
doing a lot more pay-per-views now.
If anything, people should just watch NJPW. That's it. If they want their legit wrestling, they should watch that. But
Yeah.
I digress.
Pay the
Legit storytelling wrestling.
pay the $10 for that app, and I'm seriously like next month thinking about doing ROH too.
Yeah, I couldn't catch ROH like that. I couldn't catch. The only time I could catch ROH is if they're doing a cross promotion with NJPW.
They don't, but they have their own app now, though, right?
They do. I don't know anything
Yeah,
about that.
because do they have their own app? Somebody told me ROH has their own like subscription thing.
Oh, I don't know.
Which-
Then that's cool. I gotta look into that. Then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because if NJPW has its own app, I'm pretty sure ROH has to have by this time has their own
But
subscription thing.
NJPW is a bigger beast, though.
Well, yeah, and NJPW is a bigger beast, and ROH is more accessible in the States, so it's easier to get to a event as opposed to Japan. So, I don't know. Yeah, look that up because if that's the case, I'm down for that. Like,
You know the G1 special and the G1 climax are two different things.
Yeah. G1's special is the U.S. The climax is their traditional. Well, how many days? It's like a week-long thing.
really, shit. I'm looking
Oh,
forward to
that's
that.
like a playoff type thing.
Oh, we're gonna have a lot of fucking coverage on that though.
That's a legit King of the Ring tournament.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's freaking.
Well, you know what I'm looking forward to?
And it's like
The
funny
Mae
because
Young
they get
that
a
the WWE's Mae Young
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
yeah, because so far the UK tournament was fucking awesome. I only saw half of it too.
CWC.
Yeah, the cruiserweight tournament was awesome. It's 205 Live whenever they have cruiserweight and UK and NXT matches, those are top notch. So like that's like
just whatever Triple H's projects basically.
yeah.
No more of this raw shit.
Cause like yeah, the thing is that's the WWE equivalent of the NJPW and ROH.
That's exactly what Triple H is doing. He is doing what NJPW is doing. He's trying to bring out that wrestling first
yeah.
type thing.
And you know what's cool though? Like I completely get.
I'm not even a Triple H guy, and
Yeah, this guy.
and I can't
he said
even.
things about him.
I would just
said-
critic.
No, he said things about him, but I'm not gonna
It
get
was
into
not
that.
me.
But no, like the thing is, like I understand storytelling is a big part of wrestling and has always been, but there's got to be a point where you got to look at this shit and be like, dude, it's stupid, like
Yeah, it's stupid.
because like it's I mean you had your crazy shit in the Attitude Era. And I don't like to bring this up, like, because we may never get the Attitude Era back, but the reason why I say it is because you had your wacky, crazy, over-the-top, deep stories, but it was wrestling at its core.
But
for the
They don't
most
even
part.
have deep
The
stories.
thing is, because this thing evolved from like the whole '80s and whatever with all the gimmicks.
Yeah.
I think today's wrestling, but WWE is going for a different audience. But today's you don't need all that. You don't need all that crazy gimmicks. You just need a great look like the Kenny Omega Okada storytelling.
Yeah, and people are gonna like flock
You
to
know,
that.
you just need a simple whatever. Hey, I don't like you type rivalry, and that's it. You
Look
don't,
at Stone Cold and The Rock.
you
Yo,
know,
as a matter of fact, Stone Cold, Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, guys like that, Bret Hart, those guys were, even the Kevin Nashes, people like that. They weren't gimmicky. I mean, they had their little, their personas and whatnot, but it wasn't like, oh, he's wearing a crazy mask or he's this and he's like, I mean, they had their stories, they had their gimmick-ish stuff, but it wasn't like Chris Jericho, Benoit. They had their stuff. But it was down to business. Like AJ Styles, Dolph Ziggler, CM Punk, those guys. Even I give it to John Cena. John Cena, he's not, he obviously he's been built or whatever, but the thing is I mean, I'm not saying he's a great wrestler, but to him it's sort of about, getting down to it or whatever. But then you got all this retarded, unnecessary, like, we're gonna educate people in love and shit, and
To the power of love.
yeah, to the power of love. I was waiting for a fucking New Day to interfere once they said the power and they would have came out.
On Raw, but then even though freaking Miz and Maurice are heels, that would have been a good.
I don't know why they even go with that power couple thing when they already have a power couple
Yeah.
thing going on, and they're gonna probably end that just for bringing to use those two as power couples.
Yeah, and nobody cares about that shit. But anywho, back to the Money in the Bank match. Well, we got really off track, but back to the Money in the Bank match. Like, it was overall like everybody had their own moments. Like you had, Ziggler doing his thing, Sami Zayn doing his thing, Kevin Owens doing his thing. Then like X brought up, you had the Shinsuke and AJ segment in there. Baron Corbin was doing his thing. Ultimately, Baron Corbin won the match. We all pretty much, that was our prediction. And it makes the most sense because you have a guy who has the chops, he has the talent. He's like one of those football or sports players that have that raw talent, but they need the time to learn more. So, and some people don't like Corbin. I actually really do like him and what he could be, but like hopefully his career follows like Triple H's road as opposed to Vince's, but I don't know, because like Corbin he has it. He has a look, he has the athleticism. His mic skills are good. But we'll see. Hopefully that Money in the Bank gives him time to come into his own and be his own superstar as opposed to just like Roman Reigns and prototypical Vince McMahon sculptures. But yeah.
In the WWE, you only going as far as Vince wants you to go. It's not up to the fans.
Yeah, that's a sad thing. I wonder. I'm not wishing death upon him, but I wonder how this company would change in Vince's passing. Would Triple H be able to do what he wants to do with the company, or will somebody like just sabotage that?
You could see that he's trying with the Kevin Owens
Mm-hmm.
and the other wrestlers. I mean, Kevin Owens is obviously not a Vince guy.
No, and he spoke about that. If it wasn't for Triple H, if you think about it though, Vince should look at it like this: like, hey, maybe Triple H knows what he's doing. Triple H knows that the story goes into it. He knows that's part of wrestling.
That's why Loki, when in WWE he was Cabal,
Mm-hmm.
he left. He's like, hey, I don't. He's like, I don't buy into Vince. He's like, if anybody should be running, it's Triple H because at least he was a wrestler and he knows.
Yeah.
And whatever. So.
Like what Vince did worked at a time, but he gotta understand like
But
Triple H.
Vince is a different story.
Yeah. But
Triple H actually came through the ranks.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like Triple H, he's been at the bottom. He worked his way to the top. I mean, you got to give him a lot of credit for his body of work. I mean, coming in as a wrestler and then, eventually, I mean, marrying his boss's daughter. That's dangerous territory. And still sticking around and still being a part of this business and an important part of this
He's the only one there that could get up to talk shit to Vince without any consequences.
True.
He's the only one that could be like, yo, your shit is bullshit, your shit is whack, without any consequences. So
yeah, and like if I was Vince, I mean Triple H knows what he's doing. Like you could see with these guys, and if he would let, Vince, you can have your say in it. It's your fucking company, but sort of just take a back seat. Let Triple H, if they had Triple H and Paul Heyman as the head guys of this company. Triple H, the talent, Paul Heyman, the story, that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would fuck with WWE. WWE might even compete with New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm Vince, all right, let Paul Heyman, let Triple H do all the dirty work. I'm just gonna sit there and reap the benefits. It's your company.
Vince got too much of an ego for that.
That's the problem, man. And it's like
he thinks he's the one that built this empire. I mean, yeah, he did his thing, but the thing is, WWE killed themselves. I mean, WCW kills themselves.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. They killed themselves. He did not beat them.
yeah, exactly. I mean, he just got, they had the financial. They he was in a financial situation to buy it.
WCW was a product of bad booking and all these creative nonsense and
Vince Russo killed the professional American professional wrestling.
Yeah.
True.
And it's funny because like if you look at the timelines between with everything, NWO came out first. NWO was the thing shaking up the wrestling industry. Then WWE did the whole DX thing.
Yep.
But they did it better, and so yeah, X is right. Like WCW destroyed themselves, just like TNA.
The TNA was just some next idiotic.
But they had potential, maybe not to be. They weren't going to be at the level of WCW and WWF, but TNA could have been a close second. And like,
they should did the ECW route. Like WWE have their little kick and punch gimmick. ECW, what they do, they're like, all right, we're just going to give the fans the alternative. We're going to bring the hardcore. We're going to bring the cursing. We're going to bring the women's. We're going to bring the lucha libres.
Yeah.
They did all that, and the fans bought it, and that forced WCW and WWE to switch it up.
Yeah, and it's funny because
Paul Heyman created the Attitude Era. So fuck what these little WWE noobs or whatever is telling me. Paul Heyman created that shit.
Paul Heyman, well, yeah, Paul Heyman is probably one of the most important people in wrestling.
Yeah, and he will never get the credit for it.
Nope.
From them.
And that's the fucked up thing because Vince right now, Vince has him, Paul Heyman in a position where he's never gonna let him exceed what he's doing, but he's gonna give him enough to where he's not gonna go anywhere else.
Yeah. Paul Heyman brought the traditional wrestling that we love in the stateside first.
Yeah.
He did that.
And it's a shame that like I said, dude, if I'm Vince, I know you have a big ego and all that, and hey, what do I know? I'm not a businessman, but yo, the product speaks for itself. Like to get off topic a little bit, you look at the NBA. If the NBA were to let players and teams play the game of basketball, I promise you people would care more. Like I promise you, I don't care what anybody says. Why is college basketball probably the most watched or football the most watched sports? I mean, granted, I'm not gonna say the most watched sports because if you look at the ratings for like the NFL ratings are untouchable, kind of. But NFL doesn't get as much heat as NBA to like the comparisons to college and whatever. But more people, if you ask people, they prefer watching college basketball. Why? because there's none of that fucking for the most part there's none of that rigging shit, scripted shit or whatever. It's straight up they let the kids play. If you let the Knicks duke it out with the Cavs, like just let them play. Stop blowing the whistles a million times. Stop protecting the LeBron Jameses of the league. And I'm not saying let people kill each other, but matter of fact, hockey, they give obviously hockey's a contact sport. They give leniencies with the fights. They let them fight. They still get penalized for it, but the thing is, hockey is hockey because it's the intensity of the sport. Because imagine if they tell people, "Oh, you can't hit people," almost what the NFL is getting at.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, so if it as a wrestling company, you have nobody to compete with. I mean, yeah, you have New Japan, but the thing is, financially, New Japan is never gonna come close to WWE.
I think New Japan might be the next to knock off Impact. They could easily knock off Impact.
Oh, easy, yeah, like hands
Easily.
down. Because the thing is too, they can absorb that talent, and it's funny because Kurt Angle was talking about the TNA thing. He was talking with Jericho, and he came out and said, yeah, like one of their biggest problems was them trying to bring all these old has-been wrestlers because of their name, as opposed to keeping that ingrown talent. Like look at New Japan.
ECW.
ECW, yeah.
ECW did that.
Sabu, Rob Van Dam, the Dudleys.
Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, freaking Rey Mysterio, Psychosis.
Yeah, Tommy Dreamer, all these guys. They were grown with that company. Their name grew with that company, and they became synonymous with that company. I mean, yeah. So it's like all right, you could go to WWF and WWE. Stone Cold, The Rock. Those guys were
Stone Cold from ECW.
Oh yeah, he was from ECW, but
actually, he made a name in WCW, and yeah, basically.
Yeah, but he really his breakout was
was
WWE, like
yeah.
the total package, like Stone Cold Steve Austin that we know today, The Undertaker, WWE, WWF. So it's like yeah, like you see what they like I don't know, but yeah, just like let Triple H bring out the wrestling, because that's what you're doing. No matter how much you try to water it down, like no matter how much you try to PG it up, people are fighting each other. Like, all right, you don't have to cut yourselves open anymore. That I understand. All right, you could cut down on the head chair shots. I get that. Especially with the whole NFL concussion thing, but it's kind of hypocritical when you're toning it down, but you're still letting people jump off ladders and cages. Like
exactly.
That's what people watch wrestling for. It's that gladiator thing where audiences come together to watch people beat each other up. Now let Triple H do that, and let Paul Heyman run the story end of it. I mean, Paul Heyman knows enough to when something has to be gimmicky, to when something has to be more serious, to when to let wrestlers do their own thing. Like again, look, KO is the perfect example of letting Triple H run the show. KO right now is probably outside of Styles and all that. KO is like the he is wrestling right now. Like,
see, if Triple H was running, we wouldn't see the Jinder Mahals. We wouldn't be seeing the Roman Reigns. Probably not so soon. I mean, yeah, we probably would be seeing Randy Orton because he's a fucking Triple H guy.
Yeah, but that's fine to have one or two of those guys. And you know what, though? If Triple H was running the show, Randy Orton would probably have better quality matches.
I don't think so.
I mean, if you put him,
depends on who he's with. I mean,
That's what I'm saying,
even that, he could put him in a match with AJ Styles. Randy Orton is just boring, and
well, even if that's the case, you can have a couple of those guys, but to be like for the company to be run by those guys, not run by, you know what I mean, like to that all we see is the Cenas and the Roman Reigns and the Randy Ortons and the Jinder Mahals and the great Khalis, like you look at Rusev. I want to say Rusev was another Triple H guy. I think I don't remember the story. I was listening to the podcast where he was talking, But Rusev was a guy who came in. He's starting to like know the ropes, and like if you gave him a championship shot now, it would work.
Well, what happened with Rusev? He beat a Latina, and that was it.
Nah, Rusev, whenever he comes back, he may have himself a shot. But anywho, so the whole thing is like, I don't even know where we got into this conversation at, but I mean, I think we were talking about Corbin, and it got to this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we started talking about the apps and stuff, and oh yeah, I know. Okay, I was saying how this match really made the pay-per-view, and yeah, so yeah, I mean, Money in the Bank was alright. The main event made it alright. Like the rest of it was just like, it felt kind of like a Raw pay-per-view. I just really like, I saw the little bit of matches on the card, and I'm like, alright, cool, maybe this is gonna be drawn out. We're gonna see some good quality shit. And then shout out to Ziggler and Shinsuke for that technical match on SmackDown Live, and I'm just waiting for the news on one of those wrestling websites that Ziggler has a concussion. Not because of Shinsuke, but because he had a technical match, and Vince don't like technical.
Yeah, they're not about good matches. They just like, hey, just tell the story and just leave. They don't even care about freaking match reviews or none of that shit.
Nope. Honestly, they could have a soap opera shoot fest, and that'll be a pay-per-view to Vince. You know. But anywho, we shall be back.
Hey, listen. Is your mouth tiny and small? Then why don't you come down a little bit? Where the food is tiny. It looks like regular food, but really tiny. You can put it in your mouth and eat it. Nothing gets stuck in your lips. It's just tiny and fits right in. Fits right in. We got tiny lasagna, tiny pizza, tiny pie. Little tiny fried eggs. Oh shit. We got tiny people. Little bits. You hungry? Come on down. Little bits. Eat some shit, you stupid bitch. Just kidding.
Alright, we're back. We're about to get into some NBA news, but before we do that, I want you guys to do me a favor and head over to Imbion.com. Check out all the awesome stuff we've got going on over there. You can stay up to date with all the comics like Hail Odin, Titan Corpse, Crimson Huntress, and more. You can stay up to date with any Imbion events we've got going on. You can purchase prints and a bunch of other stuff at the site. And speaking of events, we've got InbionCon coming up in August, on August 26th at the Melville Marriott in Long Island, New York. Tickets are on sale at InbionCon.com. You can head over, buy your tickets there. You can also enter code ART4LIFE at the checkout and save yourself 20% off. Save yourself 20% on tickets. English, man. Sometimes I forget the shit. It's really annoying. Also, if you're an artist or a vendor looking to showcase your stuff, you can also purchase your tables at InbionCon.com. And just as fans can do with their tickets, you can enter promo code ART4LIFE, ART, the number 4, life, at the checkout and save yourself 20% on your table space, booth space. It's a really awesome show. I've done it a couple times with Chris. Definitely worth checking out. So if you're in the New York area, head over to InbionCon.com, pick up your tickets. So, the NBA playoffs finished last week, or something like that, maybe 2 weeks ago, whatever. And not trade deadlines. We got the draft coming up tomorrow, in Brooklyn. Why we're not there? I want to go to the draft. If next year it's at Brooklyn, I want to go. Just to go. I don't, you know.
You're just gonna go there for like a good half hour?
Just to boo.
Just a half hour. Just be like, oh, the Knicks pick number 4, and just all right, we could bounce.
Fuck it, yeah. Or just start booing all the other picks just for the hell of it. Be a troll. But yeah. So we've got the draft coming up tomorrow. Then we've got in not this Friday, but the following Friday, we have the free agency. That's when all free agents
and
are.
basically next Friday's a free agency.
Yep, next weekend. That's the first time we really got free agency during the weekend.
And you
It's
know what?
usually-
There's nothing to be excited about because ain't nobody coming in.
Nope. But there's some interesting shit to talk
Yeah,
about, even though it's
for
not.
other teams.
Yeah. So pretty much, with the draft, we have the first pick was going to Boston. I'll get into that later. Second pick, LA. Third pick was going to Philly, and then the Knicks have the eighth pick, right?
Yeah, man.
Eighth pick. I don't even care about anybody in between. But I didn't know Phoenix has number 4, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something we're gonna get into too. That it's important for. So anyway, so the biggest trade, the first big trade we had was Philly traded. Philly and Boston had a trade.
See a swap pick.
Yeah, they swapped picks. Philly ends up getting Boston's number 1 overall pick, which was interesting because we knew, like, first of all, Boston doesn't really need that pick. So they have this year's pick and they had next year's pick. And they had last year's lottery pick. So, or a top, yeah, they had a lottery pick last year too. So, got there. Like that. So yeah, so the thing with Boston was, do you keep the pick and draft the best player available or whoever you see fit for your team? Or do you use that pick to leverage a trade? Like there was a lot of speculation that they would use that pick to trade for like a Jimmy Butler or Gordon Hayward, but Gordon Hayward, they're talking about maybe he signs over there because of his ties with Brad Stevens from their Butler days. But so anywho, so they traded the pick
So let's
to
go.
Philly.
Celtics are just in a good position.
Dude, Danny Ainge is a fucking genius. Like he's a genius.
They
man.
could get free agents and they could get Jason Tatum. Oh my God!
And they're already a Eastern Conference Finals team.
Yo, that team, talk super team. They're basically just planting the seeds.
And you know what's crazy? That was built over time for the most part. Like, all right, they got Isaiah Thomas, but nobody thought Isaiah Thomas was going to be who he was. Al Horford, he's an all-star, but Al Horford's not bringing you to the promised land. That team was built on a system, and Danny Ainge just grinding it out. Look, last year they had what was his name, Jaleel Green, I think it was. They drafted him, and they got a lot of heat for that because he wasn't the best player available at the time, but like you saw what he could do. He's sort of like a defensive role player, maybe more than that. I mean, but he's a guy that he fits their team, and you're gonna start to see that. Like you kind of saw that a little bit last year towards the end. You're gonna see that this year. So it's just like, yeah, this is not the LeBron super team. This is more of like the LA Lakers Phil Jackson super team where it was built, they became dominant, they added pieces. They didn't go out and sign anybody and everybody because they had the cap space, and then it kills you. This team looks like it could be in it for the long run. And I'm going to explain why. Because all right, so the Philly has Boston's first overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
Boston now has Philly's third overall pick, but they also get a future first round pick, a 2018 first round pick from the Lakers. These are protected though, so
Or
the thing is, I think if the Lakers get anywhere from 2 to 5 in the lottery, if they're in that position, they keep the pick. But if they get 1 or anything from 6 and up, Boston gets the pick.
no,
I
if
think.
if it's in 2 to 5, Boston gets the pick. If not, then whoever had that pick keeps it.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, but that's still. Hey, I mean, you're still getting this year's third pick, which is not that far away from number 1, and then 2019, it says the Celtics will instead. If they don't get the pick from the Lakers next year, so if the pick ends up anywhere from 1 or 6 and up, they don't get the pick. But if that happens, they get Sacramento's pick or Philly's first round pick for 2019. Sacramento is more than likely going to be a top 3 lottery team.
Yeah.
Because last year they had Boogie Cousins, and that kind of like gave them more wins than they should have had. Or Philly. Philly, I think they're going to be a better team with this. They're more than likely drafting Nick Fultz. Nick Fultz, right? That's his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're more than likely Markelle Fultz. They're more than likely drafting him. So you got him. You got hopefully Joel Embiid. If Joel Embiid is not healthy, you still have Ben Simmons and Jahlil Okafor. They've got that dude, what's his name, McConnell, who killed it last year as a starter, but he's coming off the bench. That's fine. And they got this other guy, some other dude. It's something with a C, I think, too. No, not Cummings. Anywho, but they still. Damn, it was right there. But Philly, like, I mean, they can be a contender this year. I mean, if these guys stay healthy, you look at Joel Embiid when he played last year.
Yep.
Guy put up some fucking crazy numbers, and he developed a 3-point shot. That's dangerous. A guy who is not gonna ever be a guy that lives at the 3-point line, but he can shoot. I mean, we talk about solid center, a true center. He's one of them, but can he stay healthy? But even if he, like I said, if he doesn't stay healthy, you have Ben Simmons and Jahlil Okafor. But if he does stay healthy, you can trade Jahlil Okafor. Or have Jahlil Okafor come off the bench and be a solid 6-man. The best 6-man in the league, probably, huh? Or you just you're loaded up at the center. I mean, at the center power forward position. Who's gonna stop you in the post? That's why you look at the Knicks with Porzingis and Hernan Gomez. If they could keep that together, dude, as athletic as they are, like that's the one thing the NBA is lacking. Like why Stephen Curry and LeBron James are always getting to the post. Now you got those two guys in there, and Porzingis. Kuzminskis too, but I don't think he's really that much of a post defender the way these guys are. But he's still a big body though. But my thing is Porzingis. They put up a stat. He held people driving to the paint to 44%. Now that doesn't sound like much, but you think about people going to the paint, like these guys, 50%, 60% shooters. There was only like 3 people ahead of him, so he's the 4th best rim defender in the league. And he's only 21, and he hasn't fully bulked up yet. And he was boxing all Porzingis.
Porzingis, oh.
Yeah, and he was boxing this year, in the off season. Scary.
Scary. Too bad he's about to get traded.
Hold on, wait. There's more on this. So it says if the Celtics don't get the Lakers pick next year, they will instead receive Sacramento's or Philly's first pick in 2019, whichever is more favorable. So apparently they have a choice. However, if those 2019 results however, if those 2019 picks result in the first overall selection, Boston will instead receive the other for. Oh, so wait, what? Oh, okay. So if one of those picks end up being a first overall, they'd get the other one automatically or some shit like that. So so they're not gonna get the number 1 overall for 2019 if they don't get the 2018 number 1 overall. But they're still getting a lottery pick more than likely. No, it says within 2 to 5.
Yeah, that's the one they get.
No, it says it says the first if the Lakers get within 4 or 2 to 5. No, it says here. Look, the future first-round pick will be the Los Angeles Lakers 2018 pick, if it's within the 2 to 5 range. But anyways, whatever. The whole point is that they're getting, like, like if this year doesn't pan out, they've got leverage next year. They could draft the best player available or trade that pick again. They could keep doing this for the next 3 years. Like, and a team that doesn't need that. They have cap space. They've got a solid team. The thing is, too, the guy, whoever they bring in, whether it's drafted or sign or trade or whatever, that person doesn't have to be a top-notch defensive player because the rest of the team, outside Isaiah Thomas, plays defense.
And that team, man, I'm tired of the Celtics.
It's fucked up because...
They got a great future, bro.
Yep. and you look at all the shit that's going on over here. So anyways, all right, so that's one big thing. So like the whole thing was Boston, Philly traded picks. So this year, Boston's getting number 3, Philly's getting number 1. All right, so the number 2 pick goes to L.A. But L.A. well, they didn't trade their pick, but well at least that pick, but they traded with Brooklyn. They sent D'Angelo Russell and Timofey Mozgov over to the Brooklyn Nets,
And they gave Brooklyn the 27th pick, right?
yeah, they gave them their 27th pick, but they got Brook Lopez in return. So what that means for LA is that they have a couple options here. First of all, they cleared up Mozgov's big ass salary. Now people could argue whether he's a bum or not. I don't think he's a bum. I just think he was overpaid. But a lot of people were overpaid. So, but anyways, LA loses that big ass contract. On the downside, they lose D'Angelo Russell. They lose a lottery pick. You know, which kind of sucks because he could have been part of that nucleus. Yeah, but whatever. What they're planning on doing might alleviate that. But so they lose the cap space, so now they have money next season. They lost that Timofey Mozgov, and then now they have Brook Lopez. They have his contract when he, if he decides to leave the team, that's more money for them. They've got like max contract, you know. This ultimately might end up in them trading for Paul George this year. So now you got Paul George, Brandon Ingram, probably gonna draft Lonzo Ball, which now that you don't have Russell makes sense.
Yeah. That's exactly why they got rid of Russell.
Yeah, so that makes sense. I mean, so I've watched Lonzo Ball's highlights. I never really watched him play. They're actually pretty good. Like I've seen what he can do. He can pass the ball really well. He's not a guy that's he's gonna put up 40 points a game, but he's a all around kind of guy. He's like the point guard version of DeAndre Jordan. I'm not DeAndre Jordan. What's his name? Draymond Green. And it sounds weird, but what I mean is that he could do a lot of things. So Draymond Green could do a lot of things. So you clear cap space, you open up, make it easier to get Paul George. The only thing with that now is do you trade your not your current number 2 overall for Paul George, or Brandon Ingram, but they said he's not going anywhere. But the whole thing with that is you kind of look at the whole Carmelo thing, and Magic Johnson is in a situation where, yeah, supposedly Paul George says he wants to come to LA. Supposedly. But, I mean, a lot of people thought LeBron James was not only coming to New York, but coming to their team. You know, a lot of people really believed that they had a shot. So, you could believe you have a shot. He can't come out, he can't, I don't know, you can't automatically assume that the player's coming that way because a lot could change in a year. But,
yeah, exactly.
So here's the thing, he could come over here and then, going into the trade, he could say, "Listen, I'm gonna resign." So sort of like Carmelo did.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, that could still change.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
what if his team goes deep into the playoff? He'd be like, yeah, about that. I just might resign if they give him the assets or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of shit that could go on. But it's do you give up that much for Paul George, or do you wait?
I say you wait it out, because you already got something going on with your.
Yeah, because you know what? If they don't get Paul George, then, hey, that's fine. I mean, you these guys that you drafted, you don't know what they're gonna be, but the whole assumption is that they're high quality players. You go to Golden State, and it was funny because I'm listening to First Take earlier with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman.
He said the Lakers are getting Paul George and LeBron James.
Well, that's just that he said assuming. He didn't say that they are. He just said assuming. And honestly, if
that still makes no sense.
But if LeBron, well, first of all, we weren't even talking about LeBron. But if LeBron leaves Cleveland, he's going to the Lakers.
We're talking about LA. That's what I was saying.
But we're not talking about LeBron. I'm not one of those players that is assuming that he's going to come there. But if he does leave Cleveland, where is he going to go?
Man, LeBron staying his ass in Cleveland. That's it.
Yo, if that's your hometown,
if you're going to the he left Miami Heat when he went to the finals mad times, but
that's your hometown.
uh,
Yo,
I really don't see him bouncing on Cleveland again like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, you left once. This is your hometown. If you leave a second time, don't expect them to love you. Like, they'll probably fucking erase your name from the championship team. But anyway, so the whole thing with what was I gonna say with Paul George? Oh yeah, no, Max Kellerman was saying, like, you know, he brought up the fact that like, you look at Golden State, they were built through the draft. And, you know, Stephen A. Smith was like, oh, you can't, you know, nobody assumed like that. He said, don't bring up Golden State. You can't assume that. Well, yeah, the thing is, drafting these players, you never know what they're gonna be. But the whole point of drafting lottery picks is that those are supposed to be the cream of the crop. And if you have all these lottery picks, you're gonna let that, you know, that grow. You're gonna grow as a team together and hope that, you know, you have the right system, you have the right coach, you have the right management, you bring in players later on. But anywho, so if you don't get Paul George, it's not the end of the world because you have promise on that team. I mean, Magic Johnson's running the ship now, so.
He just got up in there and now he's doing work.
Hey, listen, right now, Phil Jackson set a standard where you don't have to do much to be a good manager. I mean, a good president and GM now. You just don't do what Phil's doing, and you'll be okay.
Fuck Phil.
But yeah, so like that was a pretty interesting trade. And now for Brooklyn, you get Timofey Mozgov, who is a pretty solid replacement for Brook Lopez. I mean, granted, the money is a lot. He is younger. He's not injury prone from what I know, and we've seen him ball. We were able to see him play as a Knick, and he put up some interesting numbers. He's able to do a lot, but the thing is, right, with D'Angelo Russell, you know, being that Brooklyn has given up all these first round picks and you know, Boston had all those first round picks. Now you kind of erase that because you got back one of those picks. So now, if D'Angelo Russell is serious about balling, you got yourself a piece to build around. He's a point guard. He can score. Get him some pieces. It's New York, whether it's Brooklyn or the Garden. And right now, the way the Garden is looking with that, you know, fucking yeah. It's like a Michael Bay movie over there. Yeah, it's like a Michael Bay movie over here, except you're actually not even you're not even getting any interesting explosions and shit. But like at least, you know, you have that, so that's not a bad look for Brooklyn. I think it works out for both guys. You know, like D'Angelo Russell, that might be a move that comes back to haunt them. You never know.
He's going to drop like 60 on him.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe I doubt this is gonna happen, but who knows? Maybe down the line you see a Brooklyn and LA.
I see why the Nets too. That Nets need D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah,
they need a guy like him.
Yeah, look, he's a up and coming. This is his third year.
Yeah.
He's a lottery pick. He
Still
can ball.
young.
On the court, he's been getting better.
Yeah.
He's learning. Who's their coach?
I don't know.
Fuck, because that guy wasn't that bad. I don't remember his name. Fuck, he wasn't that bad as a coach. But anyways, and then you got Jeremy Lin there. You could move
Jeremy Lin could come off the bench.
He could come off the bench or be a 2. You know, and then you got Mozgov. Mozgov is a solid big man. Yeah, but I think Russell's gonna be the point though. I think Russell's gonna be that point.
He's a point guard.
Yeah.
I
he's a scoring point guard, but he's a guy that you want to market him as your point guard. And you got that dude Whitehead from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Well, he plays in Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn. Yeah. So and they got this guy from was it C.J. McCollum? Yeah, C.J. Yeah, they got him too. I didn't even know till I saw them actually playing live. Like I was like, oh shit, it's McCullough. I forget his last name. McCullum? Yeah. So I was like, okay. So yeah, it's not bad for either or. The only negative about this whole trade is Mozgov's contract, but yo, let Mozgov ball. Like he's definitely gonna be a guy. If they let him play, they're gonna be like, okay, he's worth the money. It might even be a steal. Because if they let that dude off the leash, that's a max contract player right there.
I mean, it depends on the player he has.
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends on the system from Moscow.
Yeah. I mean, look.
He's not. He can't create his own points. He can't. You know, it's going to be once in a while he has like a 20-point game.
No, but that's fine. I mean, he could rebound though, and he could spread the floor. I mean, he did it. He did it in the Knicks and in that Cavs game. I don't know why they benched him after that, but the dude had a big game in the finals. But I mean, hey, it could be worse. You could have Joakim Noah. So if you asked me, right now at this point, I'd take Mozgov over Noah. You know what?
Well, that's really easy because Joakim Noah has got rotator cuff surgery, knee surgery.
I would have, maybe not for this money, but if I had to pick, say if it was for a decent salary, not like something big like this, I would have chose Mozgov over Noah because I was never a big fan of Noah. The only thing is we traded for him. I can't do nothing about it, so I hope for the best. I was like, maybe he comes in and is that defensive anchor. He kind of was for like 2 minutes every couple games, but it's not his fault. He was injured. So, all right. So the next shocker was the Charlotte and Atlanta trade.
Howard out of there.
Howard got traded to the Hornets, and the Hawks got Miles Plumlee, solid big, Bellinelli, solid bench player, and a 2017 second-round pick. So, hey,
that's just that shit. Like, okay, that this Dwight Howard project is not working. Out of there.
you know, if Dwight Howard
because Dwight Howard is better than both of them.
If Dwight Howard came to that team that year that they were, you know, the number one in the East or number two in the East or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually no, they were number one in the East that year. If he would have came to the team that year, I think that would have been like so much better.
I believe that he's a child.
Yeah, and what issues with what?
I don't even think it was him. It was like the way they were treating him like shit.
Yeah, because you know what they like. All right, he from what I hear, like he has this like sort of like he's I guess misunderstood because as a person he's cool, like he's a cool like awesome dude, like from what I hear. But like the thing is like you go back to that whole Kobe situation when he was in the Lakers where he wanted to be the guy, and like it took him a while that season. Remember they were struggling that whole season. So he finally said, hey, I'm going to be that defensive anchor. Like, he doesn't know his place on the court.
That's the thing. He wants to, it's an ego thing. Just get within the system. If it gets wins, who cares?
Yeah, dude, you will be the most dominant big. Nobody's going to stop you. Nobody cares if you put up 10 points a game. You average 13 to 15 rebounds a game. That's when you become a Hall of Famer, honestly. Like, he can average 10 to 15 a game. That could be his point average.
I think his Hall of Fame status is like dwindling down.
Well,
because he's not that same beast on the Magic. So
no, he's not. He's definitely not. But if he were to say his season stats were like point wise 10 to 15, so I'd say 10. Mm-hmm. He averaged 10 and 15 rebounds. Just say like he did that for the rest of his like this year, next year, he stood in that range, and brought his team to the promise. Then he solidifies his Hall of Fame status. You got to kind of do what remember Tyson Chandler when before he was in he was in Chicago, mm-hmm. Like that dude was just a bum,
basically.
And then all of a sudden he played with Chris Paul, and then he became a household name.
I mean, well, I only saw Tyson Chandler for what he's like a upgraded Marcus Camby.
Yeah, just not as offensive because Marcus Camby had a little more offense.
Yeah. Just good for rebounds and putbacks.
Yeah.
That's how I saw Tyson Chandler. Nothing more, nothing less.
Well, yeah, but when he
shots.
When he played with Chris Paul that one year or whatever it was in New Orleans or wherever the fuck it was when he played with Chris Paul, that's what like brought him back because he had that 1 year with him and like Lob City.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, make DeAndre Jordan,
It was almost Lob City with the Knicks too.
Yeah, it kind of was too. Yeah, that was like second Lob City. But
he did play with
but-
Felton before the Knicks.
yeah, no, that's true too. But here's the thing with Dwight Howard. Now he's got Kemba Walker. If Kemba Walker stays healthy, that
Kemba Walker's more of a scorer.
that's true too. But maybe it opens it up. Maybe now, and also too, I heard that somebody who's part of this organization was part of, I think, the organization when he was in the Magic. It's a long time, like a person that's really close to him. So maybe that helps out. Because like, yo, all right, yeah, if Kemba Walker is a scoring point guard, and Dwight Howard says, hey, I'm gonna be that solid anchor, maybe that you know. But look, you don't need to be a 20 and 15 guy.
Well, I don't know Dwight Howard, but I really doubt that he's gonna sit there and take a backseat to anything. He's a man child.
At this point in his career, like if he wants to have a like a legit spot at a team and not be a journeyman and not be thrown around if he wants to have a legit spot
This guy was already bounced around. This is what he's been on the Magics, the Lakers, the
no,
Rockets.
he's been on a lot of teams.
Come on, bro.
But I mean, like he's well capable of doing it. He just has to do it.
He's almost a one and done guy these days.
Yeah, but I don't know what's gonna happen with this because I thought he actually did really good in the Hornets. I mean, in the Hawks, like the Hawks lost people. Remember the year before they came, they had Jeff Teague, they had Kyle Korver. They lost Jeff Teague, they lost Kyle Korver halfway through the season. They didn't have Horford, so it wasn't the same team. Like I don't know how deep their bench was. They don't use fucking Tim Hardaway Jr. Which at least when he was on the Knicks, that's one of the few good things they did. They used him. He played. All of a sudden, he got traded. You know what? He needs to go to Miami.
That dude, Tim Hardaway, he showed potential when he was on the Knicks.
That's man.
I don't know.
Like him, guys like Grant, at least Hardaway played a lot more. Yeah. But Hardaway, he had potential, man. Like I get it. That trade was. I wasn't really mad at the trade because from what I saw of Grant's tapes, like solid point guard. And also too, he's related to Horace Grant, so, bring that kind of, you never play him, and then I feel bad for Tim Hardaway because he's never playing. Man, he needs to go to Golden State. then all of a sudden
chill.
Then he's gonna light us up.
Chill. Golden State just might go for like average 160 and all that if his potential is tapped. Nah, we don't want that. That's not fair.
Yeah. that guys like him, you want them to sign JaVale McGee's. Stay away from the Tim Hardaways. All right, so another thing I heard today is Kyrie Irving supposedly he was talking to his Team USA friends about possibly being traded. And from there's a lot of rumbling with the GM and all. Like who was it that got fired? It was the GM or the president? I know it wasn't.
Well,
yeah, the GM. It wasn't the owner. So the GM, he was a free agent. They didn't re-sign him, and so maybe that it's tied to that. I don't know. Maybe not. But my thing is this: like Kyrie Irving, all of a sudden now, according to now, like they weren't saying this 3 years ago, but now he's an average player. He's no superstar. He's not an elite guy. Mm-hmm. All he can do is score. He can't do anything else. But LeBron would not have went to Cleveland if Kyrie Irving wasn't who Kyrie Irving was.
I mean, I think he still would have went to Cleveland. It's just that he, I think he still would have went to Cleveland. It's just that he wasn't. LeBron just bringing a powerhouse. Kyrie Irving is just fortunate enough to stay.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I
don't think Kyrie Irving had anything to do with LeBron coming into Cleveland.
No, maybe not. But the thing is now that all right, because I feel that LeBron left Cleveland by design the first time around. Like now that you look at it,
he left Miami by design too.
well, yeah, that. But I'm saying like because with Cleveland, he left Cleveland. Cleveland ended up getting like what 4 lottery draft picks in that time that he left, I think
And
2.
3 of them were they had multiple lottery.
Well,
picks
yeah, but
because they had
it was like 3
two
top.
each time.
But there was like 3 top 3.
No.
But anyways, the
All 4
whole
of them were top
well,
3.
whatever. The whole point is they had all
Those 3
these,
number
but they had
ones.
these top 3 picks,
Those 3 number 1.
and I think 3 number 1 overalls. So it's not like he was going into a situation where you didn't have these potential superstars in the bloom. So like I just think that he left Cleveland, and he went to play with his boys, whatever. But in that time, I guess he maybe trusted Gilbert to that they would draft these. I don't know. I mean, it's not certain that these guys are going to be good, but if you're getting, like I said before, if you're getting lottery picks, they're supposed to be high potential players. So, but yeah, I don't know. Like now, all of a sudden, Kyrie Irving is not a capable player. But when they're winning, he's one of the best point guards in the league.
He's one of the best point guard leagues, winning or losing, whatever. That's how it goes.
That's
I don't
how
want
I
to hear
feel.
that.
Yeah, that's how I feel. And the thing is, like what was I gonna say? Like having LeBron in that team, obviously it catapulted them to another level. But the thing with that is you're taking away the point guard part of Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is a point guard. Yeah, he can score. He's a point guard. So now you turn him into a scorer. Look, you're playing on that team. Nobody's gonna care if you don't play defense because you're playing with LeBron James. He makes everybody better. But whatever. Anyway, so Kyrie Irving supposedly, I don't know how true this is. I don't know if it's gonna happen.
They can't get rid of Kyrie Irving. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him go because I would like to see what he would do on another team. Like not in a bum ass team, but like a team that has. But I don't know. Like it's like, that's not something I don't really like to bring up shit like that when it's not anything certain because I feel like ESPN where you just you got nothing to talk about so you're just bringing up random shit. Have a whole 15-minute segment on fucking selfies. But I mean, it was interesting though now because, like I said, the conversation now all of a sudden or matter of fact, when people try to defend LeBron James and this Cleveland team they have talking about Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love are not elite superstars, but I don't care what team he was on. Kevin Love was averaging fucking 20 and 15 or some shit like that.
He was elite when he traded for him. So,
why would he have, they wouldn't have traded for him
exactly.
if he wasn't the player he was. He put up 30 and 30 on the Knicks. I mean, it is the Knicks, but the thing is 30 and 30.
That's hard no matter how bad your team is.
Exactly. I don't see nobody doing that shit to Philly.
No
so
matter how bad your team is.
Exactly. 30 and 30. That's a lot of fucking rebounds. I remember that game because we were winning that game and all of a sudden this dude started grabbing everything. It's like they put the rebound slider up to fucking 100%. But yeah, so you can't tell me they're not elite when LeBron wouldn't have traded for him. It's the same treatment Chris Bosh got. There was no way in hell they were giving Dwayne Wade that treatment because why? He won a championship before LeBron, without LeBron. So there's no way in hell you're gonna go and put Dwayne Wade in the category of a bust because they didn't win. So obviously they're gonna put it on Chris Bosh. So now Kevin Love gets it. Now if they trade Kevin Love for Paul George and they don't win a championship, who are they gonna blame? Paul George. Paul George is not averaging 10 steals a game. He's not playing defense. He's not averaging 25 points a game. Oh, he's not the same Paul George. You got to understand, you got two guys, LeBron James and Kyrie Irving.
Well, Kyrie Irving, I mean, Kevin Love, I mean, somebody have to blame. It's got to be Kevin Love because he really didn't show up those last 2 games.
I'm just talking about in general.
But Kyrie Irving, come on, he kept you in that game.
Yeah, no, dude,
that game would not be close at all if it wasn't for Kyrie Irving. That would have been a blowout.
Kyrie Irving won them the last championship if you want to go that far. But and even with Kevin Love in the last game, he was 2 for 8. So all right, yeah, he wasn't really that present offensively, but he only took 8 shots. So like. Kyle Korver only took 3 shots. Kyle Korver, you got him. Why? because he's one of the best shooters in the league. LeBron is supposed to be the best playmaker in the league. So why the fuck are you not finding Kyle Korver? It would be different if Kyle Korver was like 3 for 10 or 3 for 20.
All I'm saying, ain't nobody blaming LeBron because he got a triple-double.
Hey.
Nobody blaming him.
Look, he busted his ass. I won't deny that. I would never deny what LeBron has done on the court. Like, his numbers are phenomenal, but just it's much more to it.
But why don't they just say that Golden State is just too good?
Right?
that's how I looked at it. I didn't blame no one from Cleveland. I mean, Golden State is just too good.
Go back to
Kevin Durant just went on God mode.
Go back to the Giants and Patriots Super Bowls, especially the first one where the Patriots were undefeated until that game. If the Giants had lost to the Patriots, would anybody have been mad? No, because the Patriots were unbeatable. They were undefeated. So it's like, all right, cool. You lost to them. But yeah, like the Warriors, look.
They're just too good.
Yeah.
Especially when Kevin Durant just turn it up like 2 more levels up.
Mm-hmm. Look,
man,
with or without
I don't
Durant.
care who. I don't care what. You already at a handicap. That's just messed up. Especially when Durant just put the dagger in what, game 3?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was just nasty.
And here's the thing: if they get Paul George, or if they get Jimmy Butler,
the man shot a 3 when he needed a 2.
Yo, but like, all right, say even if they get Jimmy Butler or Paul George, right? I personally don't think that's gonna help them, and here's why. Like, yeah, you have another superstar on the team, right? But how are you distributing the ball? Why is Golden State so good?
Dude, they distribute the ball. They could shoot.
Everybody gets a look.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, go D'Antoni teams for the most part. Win or lose, everybody gets a look.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so Golden
and that's
State.
That's without saying that Steph Curry could just shoot from anywhere when he feels like it.
Exactly. Yo, Stephen Curry didn't even have the most phenomenal series. Matter of fact, even the series, the one that they lost. But he didn't have to. Why? Because it's not him. It's not the Stephen Curry Warriors. It's the Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, and that's the thing. So yo, all right, LeBron can get Paul George, but unless Phil Jackson or Popovich or Larry Brown or somebody of that nature is coaching them, they're not winning. Like, call me a LeBron hater, they're not winning, because you have 3 fucking superstars on your team, and you still couldn't beat them. On paper, Cleveland was way better than Golden State on paper. Because like I'll bring this up again. Curry, Durant, Green, Klay Thompson. That's 4 players.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, alright, Iguodala's good, but he's not a, well, I can't say he's not an X factor, but even if you throw him into the equation, Cleveland still has a better team on paper, because you got LeBron, Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, Kyle Korver, J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, Tristan Thompson, Deron Williams. So you're telling me, like, and anybody in their right mind didn't think that they could bring it to 7 or even win the series or even sweep the Warriors?
Everybody kept saying Cleveland and freaking
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Cleveland in 7. I thought it was going to be Golden State in 6 or 7. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. But anywho, so yes. Like, so Kyrie Irving is all of a sudden getting, like, the short end of the stick. He's getting devalued. But, like, you got to understand, like, he is, maybe he doesn't play defense, but I'm tired of that, because not everybody, like,
It's all right for Kyrie Irving not to play defense, but because of on the team he's on. But let him come to the Knicks, they'd be like, "Oh, this guy don't play defense."
Yeah, they would chew him out.
No,
like,
how dare he?
Like Carmelo Anthony's not stopping point guards. Yeah, because my man's supposed to be defending Stephen Curry and John Wall and shit. Like, and he's supposed to be defending Dwight Howard or Brook Lopez. Come on, man, get out of here with that shit. Anywho, I'm a big Kyrie Irving fan. I think he's a beast. I would like to see what he could do as a premier point guard without LeBron there. Oh, and another thing too, if Paul George or Jimmy Butler comes to the Cavs, they play the same position as LeBron James.
Well, Jimmy Butler could go to the...
Well, yeah, Jimmy Butler could play the 2. Yeah. It's a little different. But Paul George is a small forward.
LeBron James going to tell Paul George, hey, yo, play power forward, man.
Right? Yo, play center. I want you to post up all day. And
Yo, love, you playing center.
another thing I heard was like they're trying to get Chris Paul. Now, to me,
these rumors.
and that's the stupidest rumor in the entire universe to me because, all right, again,
you have Kyrie Irving. You don't need Chris Paul.
exactly.
You went to the finals with him. You don't need him.
And are you telling me LeBron's gonna stop playing his game and be a perimeter shooter?
And are you going to tell me that Chris Paul is that guy to your answer to help beat the Warriors? No.
No. All right. If LeBron is a different kind of player, yeah.
Like what different kind of player? LeBron is LeBron. He averages a triple double.
No, but I mean like
Can't get any better than
I
that.
mean like if he all right, he's the playmaker of the team.
Yeah.
If he's not a playmaker, then that works.
Well, if
It feels like
All right. Well, like all right, Durant. Durant's not necessarily the playmaker of the team, though he can create shots or whatever, but he's not the point guard. LeBron is essentially the point guard.
yeah.
So that's the thing. So if
he's more of a factor than Chris Paul ever will be on that team. Because if Chris Paul is the playmaker, then LeBron is just a normal small forward out there. I mean.
Yeah, but that's why it doesn't work because like if LeBron was a Paul George or a Carmelo or
then that's one
it works. Yeah,
But no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It won't work. So it's just dumb. Like people don't think of these things. Like you think you can just throw any superstar together and it's gonna work. Golden State didn't throw any superstar together. Yo, like they needed a closer.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson is the Kukos of your team.
Exactly.
I mean, a better, But the thing is, Durant is a guy, Melo is a guy, Kobe is a guy where you give them the ball at a certain point of the game, they're gonna take over. Imagine if Melo was on the Golden State Warriors. You know how like sometimes in the Knicks like he'll be cold for a quarter, then he'll just go off.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they're constantly relying on him. If he's not going off all game, they're pretty much lost. Imagine him on that team where he can go off when he needs to go off. But anywho, so yeah, that's that. So poor Kyrie Irving is getting shit now, and yeah. So we got the Paul George Lakers trade rumors. It seems to be a possibility now, but we just spoke about that before. So yeah, it seems to be a possibility now. Will it happen? Who knows? But it seems to be something like if they moved Moskov for Lopez.
They just got moved down. That's it.
Yeah, and you know what, Dank? Well, even with he got a big contract. That's the problem.
He's averaging like 17 million fucking season.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Why?
But the only thing about Dang is I mean, well, like aside from the money, he's a guy that could work on certain teams. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But another interesting trade thing that came up was the possibility of the Clippers trading DeAndre Jordan to Phoenix.
DeAndre's going to be exposed over there.
But what I heard was that
he got his money.
Yeah, what I heard was that they want Phoenix's number 4. That's crazy.
Ew, I ain't not giving up no number 4 for no DeAndre Jordan. Can't even make his free throws. Get out of here with that.
But because the rumor was, from what I heard, it was Tyson Chandler and a pick for DeAndre Jordan, and I think something else. Like I think a pick of theirs, but imagine that. Like, all right, if it's a win for the Clippers, because you get Tyson Chandler, who is at least a slightly better free throw shooter than he's significantly better.
He's decent for a big man. Yeah,
same exact kind of player. You reunite him with Chris Paul, you get yourself a 4th round pick.
Honestly, yeah, I think Tyson Chandler is better than DeAndre Jordan.
If I were LA, I'd trade DeAndre Jordan and my pick because it's a late pick.
Well, Tyson Chandler's up there in age now. But
yeah, but if I'm them, I trade DeAndre Jordan and my pick for Devin Booker and Tyson Chandler, and maybe something else to even that out. Because I mean, if you're just trading DeAndre Jordan for Tyson Chandler and you want their 4th round pick,
honestly, I think DeAndre Jordan is barely even worth a 2nd round pick.
Well, yeah, that's why you trade your later pick. You trade your later pick to try to get Devin Booker, because imagine Devin Booker with Chris Paul. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know how good Devin Booker is going to be. He had that crazy game.
71 points or
Yeah.
something like that.
I mean, I always say that not everybody can do that.
I mean, didn't this guy Ross had a 50-point game, something like that, and
Terrence Ross had a 50-point
yeah,
game.
he had a 50-point game, and how's he doing these days? He's still
What's this guy's name? Mo Williams had a 50-point game.
Fuck out of here.
And yeah, so
Fuck raw.
but the thing is 70 is kind of
70 is ridiculous, but I
Yeah.
don't.
yeah, that's the thing. I don't know, but the only reason why I'm not high off of him because of that. Like, I mean, hey, the only thing I do say is that, like, you know, I remember we had this conversation with Vic where he was like, we were talking about Carmelo and him averaging 20-something points a game for his career or season, and he was saying how anybody could do that, and I was like, if anybody can do that, why don't more people do it? There's a very few select group of players that can actually
Right.
average 20 on any given season.
No.
20 and 25, 24, not just 20.
No,
So
anybody, and not anybody could do
yeah,
that.
it's not as easy as it seems.
And some people who do that, they just have a bad percentage because they're just chucking up like Al Harrington when he was on the Knicks. I think I don't know if he got over 20. I think he eclipsed it or something, but he was just chucking up shots,
Yeah.
whatever. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, so it's like yeah, not everybody could do that. So, but yeah, I don't know, like that trade. I don't know how, because I think what they said was just Clippers were considering it, but I don't know. Like I see them keeping DeAndre Jordan just because he's a defensive person and he grabs rebounds. He grabs rebounds and he could grab
Well,
lobs.
if Chris Paul ain't there, there's no point in keeping him.
Yeah, but I don't think Chris Paul's going anywhere. I mean, like, you think about it, like they still got that nucleus going on. I mean, you still got Rivers. You've got you if you keep Paul, you have Paul. I think Blake Griffin's gone, if anybody.
Lob City's dead.
Matter of fact, yo, trade.
But the thing is about Blake Griffin, he actually did his thing without Chris Paul.
True. Well, I'm hearing maybe he goes to Houston. Now you think about that shit. I think that works. You put him and Harden together. Well, look at what.
Well, okay, I could see him being like a Stoudemire type in
Yeah, D'Antoni system. Yeah. And the
But
thing
you
is,
would have to develop a jump shot, just what Stoudemire did.
well, he kind of got a decent jump shot. I mean, he's
Stoudemire had a reliable jump
yeah.
shot.
Stoudemire had he was hitting clutch 3-pointers, even though that shit didn't count. But yeah, no, like I mean, I think it works. Because I don't know, like I think they could do so much better with somebody else. Because Blake Griffin has been good. He's been getting better, but he's been hurt way too much. And
Yeah.
that shit is not helping him. And he keeps getting hurt when, you know, in that part of the season. Like, it's not at the beginning of the season.
Did he go down in the rankings? Because I remember he was all high up in there at one point.
Fucking hell to Carmelo Anthony. Please give me that shit. Like, he did his thing without Chris Paul, but honestly, if Chris Paul wasn't... hey, look, I'm not knocking Blake Griffin. I just don't think he's... Like, he's good, but he's not, like, what... The best thing out there. Like, there's way better options. Like, you know, if I'm LA, I go after Butler. Because you pair up Chris...
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, because that's all they were really missing. Like, I like Redick. I like Redick on the team. And I think if his contract is not too crazy, or if they could afford him, keep him, because he could be a reliable third option. But you need a second option because Crawford can't do it anymore. I mean, he's doing it, but you know, it's not the same. He's getting old. You can't expect him to carry you. So you get Butler, who plays both sides of the court, and Rivers. And here's the thing: they got Jerry West. He's running he's like their president or something now.
Yeah.
So he's
Let's
doing
see what
something.
happens.
And everywhere he's went.
This is already an interesting off season.
Yeah, I know, right? Even though not much is happening with our team. Oh, that's what I wanted to get into. KP. So
I was just reading a thing on Bleacher Report that I think KP trying to get himself traded.
nah,
Well, this is just the rumors. Chris Charles trade rumors. Knicks want top 4 draft pick for Star.
yeah, I heard.
For the record, I don't want KP going, but if he goes, I think he's worth a top pick.
Here's hands down because if you put him on any other team, for the most part, you put him on the Wizards. Imagine him on a team like with a solid point guard that runs pick and rolls.
Yeah.
You put him on Boston. You put him in the Wizards. You put him in Golden State.
The thing is, your Boston they're already overpowered with this bullshit draft picks already. Imagine them trading the number 3 to the Knicks, and getting Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah.
That's not fair. The league should stop that shit.
Right? They stopped Chris Paul.
You know.
Yeah, you put Porzingis on.
You heard that they rejected it because they thought they were going to do another trade.
Who?
That's what David Stern said.
That's the dumbest. Yeah, like it doesn't make sense to me because that's one of your biggest franchises. How do you make up an excuse like that, but you let all this LeBron shit happen? Like the Cleveland could literally trade for anybody and it's okay. But the Knicks or the Lakers want to trade for somebody
I remember the Lakers used to get away with some one-sided trades. I don't know how the fuck they do that.
But didn't they trade Marc Gasol for Paul Gasol? Because didn't they get Marc Gasol in that trade?
They got Paul.
No. I mean, didn't they give up Marc Gasol?
No, wait, Marcus Gasol?
Well, however, whatever that trade ended up being, they ended up not directly because of that trade. Like maybe that wasn't something they got from the trade, but I think a result of that trade was them getting Marc Gasol in the draft or something like that. The Grizzlies. So it's like, hey, you lost Paul Gasol, you got Marc Gasol.
Yeah.
Way better. But yeah, I don't like. They got away with trades, but you know what? And even that, like, all right, you got Lamar Odom and Paul Gasol, right? But you think about it, those guys are really not putting you over the hump. Like, I mean, it was just a well-coached fucking monster. But anywho, yeah, like, back to KP. I don't think he's gone. I mean, first I heard the rumor of them wanting to trade him.
I feel like he's
Phil
gone.
Jackson just said right now.
Look, what?
That no matter how much they love him, they have to look to do what's best for the club.
I think that he's gone.
I think he's just trying to get fired. Phil wants. He doesn't want to be here, obviously.
My. Oh, sorry.
He doesn't
No,
want
go
to
ahead.
keep the job, but he wants to get. But he's not going to quit.
I think Porzingis is trying to be like he's either Phil or me.
Yeah.
That's what I think Porzingis is doing. I think the Knicks already know the whole Porzingis thing.
Yeah.
So is Porzingis like, oh, it's either Phil or me, because I don't want to stay here with Phil.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting out of it, because
Because Phil doesn't want to be here, and Phil obviously doesn't want to get fired. I mean, he doesn't want to quit because if you quit, I don't think you get that money.
He doesn't get the money.
So, but the thing is, fucking Dolan, like he'd rather not give this guy the money and watch his fucking franchise crumble more than it already is crumbling.
Okay, this is the thing with Dolan. This is my theory with him. He is staying the fuck in there because the heat is on Phil Jackson and not him.
Yeah, but
that's why he is letting this shit rock.
But it's only gonna all right.
He gave him that 2-year option, so it's be like, yo, okay, you gonna take the heat for 2 years. I'm in the shadows. Leave me alone.
Yo, but
but also too because he's not doing it because he doesn't want to fire Phil because
he doesn't want to pay Phil.
Will get paid.
Yeah, he doesn't want to pay Phil.
Exactly.
Whatever.
And
but if
Phil
I were him,
because he won't get paid.
I know you don't want to pay the dude. I know you rather him. But yo, your franchise, which is already crumbling, is crumbling more. You have a guy who, all right, you brought in Carmelo, and Carmelo didn't work out, and it's not his fault. It's because you're an idiot, and you have people that didn't know what they were doing around him. Donnie Walsh had a plan. Donnie Walsh would have probably got him in the offseason, though I'm not mad at Dolan for pulling the trigger because you lost out on LeBron. You're not going to lose out on another, But then all the things that happen after that. But the whole thing is that, you're letting your fucking franchise crumble more into the ground. You got Porzingis. Porzingis is, the biggest ray of hope. Even people that are not even in the Knicks.
Even all that, when the whole Carmelo trade, I mean, they were still on that right track.
They were, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, granted, he doesn't have the basketball knowledge to figure out what's going on. But yeah, we had 2 teams where we made the playoffs. One team where we were second in the East. We Carmelo led the league in scoring. He was in the MVP running. We had 60 wins or close to 60 wins for the first time in forever.
It was fucked up when they let go of Glenn Grunwald and Mike Woodson. They should have stuck with Mike Woodson because he didn't deserve that firing after just that one bad season.
Nope. And it's not even like and it's not even like they were gonna hire Phil Jackson as a coach. Like, but anywho, what was I gonna say? Yeah, like it's just like pay the man. Look, whatever. All right, say I'm just gonna throw out a number there. Say Dolan has to pay Phil Jackson $12 million. Dude, I don't know if he's a billionaire. I would assume so. He's a billionaire. He owns fucking MSG, which will make money forever and ever. Look, the Knicks suck and they still make money. You have the Rangers. You have the Knicks. I mean, like, just pay the man his whatever you owe him, and look, pay him. Bring up Allen Houston. Allen Houston, you know what I heard? Jimmer Fredette, supposedly he did this 3-point thing for charity or some shit. He shot 100 3-pointers. Supposedly he only missed 8. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, yo, at least Allen Houston seems to know what he's doing with talent, though it is the D League. But fire Phil. Save you're gonna let Carmelo go before you let Phil go? When Carmelo is out there on the court bringing you money?
He wants the franchise to win.
The thing is, he gave Phil that freaking option.
He's so stupid, man.
That's when I'm like, okay, that's fucked up.
Yeah, like, I get it. You want him to, fulfill your things. You don't want to pay. You don't want to, But, like, dude, man. Like, just fucking.
This is the thing that he could control, but like I said, Phil's getting the heat, and Dolan, he's just there with his cocktail. He's just chilling.
But, like, this goes back to when we first got Phil, and I said, remember how, like, everybody was saying that Dolan's gonna put his nose in everything, and I was like, he's not. Because one of two things is either going to happen. Either Phil's going to succeed, and then Dolan could say, I told you so, I'm the one that brought him here, I'm the man. Or, if Phil succeeded, he could say, I'm the man, I brought him here. I'm the reason why we're successful. If Phil failed, he could have said, look, I let Phil do everything, and Phil fucked up. That's exactly what's happening. So you know what, Dolan? You win. you win. No matter what, you won. You win right now. Just like... When we're calling for you, you're not listening.
When we're calling, it's really bad if we're calling for Dolan for help. It's really bad.
Fire Phil, give him whatever the fuck he wants and extra to send him on his way happily, and bring up Allen Houston, who's gonna cost you a fraction of what that is gonna cost you, and let Allen Houston do all the work. Like Allen Houston, I'm pretty sure will give us a way better product and contender. Like, you're gonna cut Melo. Like, that's what they're talking about.
I really think they're gonna buy him out.
I think so too, and I would be heartbroken.
Porzingis.
I would you know what, I think if they do, the whole thing with Porzingis is it's not in his hands.
I mean, if you're gonna get rid of Porzingis, it gotta be a damn good reason.
Like I'm
talking about top pick and then some picks after that.
I heard that Phil wanted 4 first-round picks for Porzingis.
But where's he gonna get 4 first-round picks from?
There's
no team got 4 first-round picks.
But some shit like that but the whole thing is if that's what you're getting for him, maybe I'll deal with it. But then you're still gonna trade all those other guys anyway. So it's like, I don't know. I personally don't think he's gone. I know I'm not surprised if he's gone. If they do trade him, but
you might as well go on that 2K.
Man, you better get Paul George and first-round picks, man. Like, yo, fuck all that. Like, we're gonna take no. You better get Paul George. I mean, fuck. Matter of fact, LeBron James. And even still, Porzingis. But anyway, so Stephen A. Smith came out and said that from what he heard through his sources, that Porzingis and his brother we're orchestrating these rumors
Mhm.
to get Phil run out.
But now Phil just said some shit that, no matter how much they love,
Yeah, we're just reading that.
Porzingis, he's looking to do what's best for the franchise.
And trading Porzingis is best for the franchise, man. Come on. Like, this kid...
I mean, we trade for Porzingis. Now what are we gonna do? Now we're gonna draft a freaking at the 8th spot. At the 8th spot, there's you can't fuck up that.
Mm-hmm.
But
They want to draft a guy that's the same type of player.
with Josh,
That dude from Arizona.
What, that dude that's always blocking shots that they show the highlights of?
what Macklin, something like that.
Some dude from Arizona.
Wait, hold on. I think-
Well, if that's the dude I'm thinking about, if you're keeping Porzingis, yeah, draft him too. So you have 2 fucking shot blockers that nobody can...
Wait.
But if
Cut
you
that out.
no,
Cut
but
that
if
out.
you're going to trade Porzingis just to draft that dude, like here's the thing, Porzingis is 21.
I'm assuming you're trading Porzingis for a top 5 pick. That's what I'm assuming. While you're still keeping that 8th pick. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's the only way. You're not swapping picks. none of that
Don't.
shit.
I'm not giving you an 8th pick in Porzingis for the
because you can do that. You can trade Porzingis for that top pick because he's not costing any money.
Laurie Markkinen.
I don't know. Click his profile.
Laurie Markkinen.
But nah, not for like I mean, I don't know. But
Yeah, Laurie Markkinen.
that's the white dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's nasty. But don't I mean look if
At the I see, like I said, I don't mind having him, but at
Not-
the
yeah.
8th spot, not when there is what you there's a chance to get Dennis Smith, there's a chance to get Malik Monk, and there's a chance to get what the fuck? How's my damn phone? Or Jonathan Isaac.
okay, I know about Monk, so like, I mean, but here's the thing, right? Porzingis is 21. If he's 28,
Then he's not worth that top 3 pick unless he's the superstar.
well, yeah, well I'm saying if he's like not even 28, if he's like 26, 27, oh yeah, even 28, and you're talking about trading for the future, yeah, but right now you're gonna trade for the future when he is the future. Like that makes no sense.
See now, all right. So okay, let's say we do trade Porzingis, right? And we got a top 3 pick. We get Jason Tatum or even Josh Jackson, assuming we keep in the 8th pick.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could get that.
That makes sense.
Okay, then because I ain't mad at that, because if we're trading Porzingis, and we might as well just draft a small forward because Carmelo Anthony he ain't staying.
No, he's
So
gone.
you might as well just get that replacement. So
Yeah. But the thing is, like Porzingis, like what he does, like who the fuck can do that? This dude can dribble the ball.
he's a
cross-
mismatch.
He can cross
he's a
people
mismatch.
over. Yeah.
70% of the time he's a mismatch.
Yeah, he crosses people over at 7'3" or 7'2". Like this guy's almost Yao Ming's height, and he's shaking people up, running. You know how like Amari was able to cut to the basket
Mhm.
off the dribble. Like he's doing that at that height. Yo, like I don't. Yo, Phil.
He's if he's saying as much as we love this guy, we have to do what's best for the club. That means he already has something on the table and he is gone.
Look,
Because they never even contacted him ever since that instant where he just bounced left the team.
yeah.
So Chris Stapps is either saying, "Yo, it's Phil or me," and Phil is the one with the power, saying like, "Oh, yo, Chris Stapps, you're gone."
I would tell you.
Because 29 teams is calling for Chris Stapps Porzingis.
Yeah, anybody would take him, and they'd give up a lot for him.
You know, 29 teams is calling for him. So
Yeah, they would give up a lot for him, and rightfully so. Like I was saying, you put him on the Wizards, you put him on, and I'm not even thinking about elite teams like Golden State, whatever. Like you put him on the Wizards.
On the Wizards, oh my God.
Dude, imagine him on the Clippers, or on the Lakers, or in Brooklyn with D'Angelo Russell right now. Like, come on,
On the Clippers with Chris Paul.
that's just not fair. When this dude don't
Chris
even
Paul,
gotta jump.
he's going to average like 25 points a game. Easily.
Maybe more. With that height, yo, like And
Chris Paul will feed him.
Bruh.
He's gonna be eating real good.
imagine Porzingis and DeAndre Jordan.
That's a lot taken off of Porzingis because he could just DeAndre Jordan rebound, kick out.
Ain't nobody going in the post.
Oh my God! Just does a team running a real system there.
And it's crazy because they could still get Jimmy Butler or Gordon Hayward
'cause he's still-
and re-sign JJ Redick. Like, Porzingis is making nothing compared to these dudes. And, you know, that's not his fault. It's the rookie thing. But, or he could go to Minnesota with Karl Anthony Towns and, oh, man, and Wiggins. Like, there's so many options. And he don't even have to go to a superstar team, like a championship contender team to put them over the top. Like, I mean, you know, he could go to any other team and put them over the top. Man, it's a shame. But honestly, I really, like, I've never felt this way. Like, you know, every year we, as a Knicks fan, we go into the season with high hopes, high expectations, or maybe low expectations but high hopes. You know, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But we're still Knicks fans. But I really think if they give up if they trade Porzingis, if Phil trades Porzingis, I don't think I can watch basketball anymore.
Until Phil's right.
I
really mean that.
I would probably say shit like that, but the thing is, I'm so much of a Knicks fan. I do want to see them.
We'll look for reasons to watch
Yeah.
it, but it would take, you know what? It would take me for them to start out like 20-10 to even think about it.
I might tune out a little bit earlier than expected.
Yeah. Like, remember, what's his name? Stephen A. He stopped watching the Knicks for a while, some shit like that, because they were so bad, and then he started watching them again after they did a little decent. Like, if they started off like really hot, maybe, but it's like, and I don't like, you know, this is not beyond our control. We understand this is a business, but there's a difference between business moves and stupidity, and I don't think Phil's this stupid. I just think he doesn't want this job, that he'll do anything right now to get fired. Because he's not going to quit, because he's not going to get that money. But the fucked up thing is, dude, Phil, are you bankrupt? Like, do you need the money? Because I'm pretty sure you don't.
I mean, whatever money they throwing at him, whether rich or not, they're going to take the money. So
Yo,
I just don't know how he's just doing just a bad job.
yeah, I really don't
The thing is, all he could have done is just sit there and just let, Jeff Hornacek, do this.
Exactly,
Just
right?
Jeff Hornacek. Just do things your way, and I'll just.
Yeah,
whatever.
he could have got
What you need. Okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
look, he could have got criticized. Like, right now, he's getting criticized for doing nothing. But on top of doing nothing, he's fucking shit up. If he did nothing and just let, you know, the rest of the organization run shit, fuck it. You know, you could criticize him for that, but hey, at least we're still winning. That's like, you know, a player going to a team and not doing shit, and they're still winning games, and, you know, he gets criticized for not doing much, but they're still winning, so it's like, whatever. This is crazy, man. Like,
Phil Jackson's Hydra.
yo, he's worse than that. He's fucking worse than that shit. Like, I don't know. I personally don't think Porzingis is going, but I'm preparing for it the same way we all are, because
Yeah, he's going, bro.
That's just you being that pessimistic.
No,
I'd rather be surprised than disappointed. So don't be mad at me.
Well, I'm not surprised of you. I'm not surprised at anything that happens anymore, especially like after the last couple of years. I mean, good and bad.
This is on the levels when Spreewell got traded, where I was mad.
Shit. At least I can say I'm a Giants fan, so I have that to lean on this winter.
The Yankees are doing good, at least for me.
Yeah, the Yankees are doing good. Maybe the Mets are doing bad, but I don't think they're far away from turning it around. So, you know, baseball is a weird sport. After the All-Star game, then if they continue on that downward spiral, then maybe I can give up. You know, Noah Syndergaard's still got to come back. Yankees are doing good, so that's cool. They're on a little slide now, but they had that big run. So, whatever. If the Knicks don't succeed. Well, at least for me, there's football. There's always video games.
Mm-hmm.
But
I can't even watch football this year because the Jets are tanking.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's we all know that from in the beginning, so it's not like I have high expectations. So
yeah,
at least I could just watch it for the
we
for the future.
we thought as Knicks fans we were going into the season at least with Porzingis. We were getting ready. The whole thing was we were getting ready to lose Melo. As much as we don't want to, we were getting ready for that. We were preparing for that. Like when it's gonna happen, whatever. Now this whole Porzingis thing, that should just like, you know. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow with the draft or the day after with the draft. Hopefully, we still have Porzingis by then. Merry Christmas, guys.
Out of there.